What's up, guys? Today we are gonna carry on with our Spotify project here. If you haven't watched the first episode, I highly recommend you do it so you guys can follow along with this coding tutorial. And the video is gonna be up to the right corner. Yeah, today we will probably just be coding CSS styling to the left menu, which we created before. So yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so if we navigate, obviously we want to start the client as well. Okay, and you simply just type npm start, which is super simple to do. And then when you have all the code that we have currently programmed, you will want to navigate to the styles folder here and go into left menu. Now there is gonna, since we have multiple components in the left menu, we are going to have quite a lot of CSS code in here because we're not gonna try to divide it for the different components. But yeah, so we're gonna try to at least get the CSS done today and see if we have more time to do anything else. Okay, so let's start with just do the simple styling for the left menu. We simply just type left menu, just like this, with brackets as well. And the width is gonna be 200 pixels. The height is gonna be height is gonna be 100%, which is gonna be the height of the screen. We also want the min height to also be 100 view height, just like that. And if we save that, we will probably see a change in the change. Nope, never mind. That's fine. Anyways, so when that's done, we want to set the background, and the background color should be, or just the background actually, and it's gonna be RGBA with the values of 34, 34, 34, and also a opacity of 0.6. If we do that, you guys can see that the background of the left menu has changed, and that's pretty good, which means also that we correctly named all divs as well. So that's great. We also want to have a backdrop filter, so we're gonna type a backdrop filter. Not like that though. It's actually like this filter. You also want to have a semicolon here. Nice. And this should be a blur, so we're gonna blur a back with a 10 pixels. So what happens if we save that? That's fine, because we don't really have anything in the background at the moment, so it's not gonna show. That's totally fine. We also want to add a padding, which is gonna add some space within the div itself, and it's gonna be 25 pixels to 25 pixels, which is gonna be, so as you guys see, it has changed. So we got some space in it, which will position on the different divs as well, which is totally fine, and that's exactly what we want. We also want no scroll bar, so we're gonna type overflow hidden, just like that. And as you guys can see, this picture here is not overflowing the div container, so that's also great. We also want to have a transition here, because we're gonna add some animations to it as well. So it's gonna be all 0.3 seconds, and we want a cubic Bezier, or Bezier, I don't know how to pronounce that. And this will essentially give us a smooth transition between the different transitions keyframes. And the value is gonna be 0.175, 0.885, and 0.32, and also 1.275 or 2.75. Nice. Let's go to the logo container then. We want to start the logo container. Just like that. it's gonna be display flex because we want to position the divs inside the container, and it's gonna be justify content space between. So we're gonna add space between the different divs in that component as well. And as you guys can see, if we remove this and save, this dot here will actually position it here. But if we add these values to the styling, the dot will be up here. So that's great. We also want to have align item center, which will center the items in the middle. And that's great. And we also want to add a color to this. It's going to be a hexadecimal color code, which is going to be F1, F1, F1. And boom, they are white. Great. Now we want to style the logo in the logo container, so we just simply type logo container.logo. And this is also going to be display flex. Yep. And the align center, we're going to have align item center here as well. Boom. Nice. So the Spotify and the logo and all the different divs in that div is essentially in the center. That's great. Now we want to style the icon, which is gonna be the Spotify icon in that container, and it's gonna be logo container dot logo and I think we might have to check that. Just wait a second, guys. It's I there and it's I here. Okay, great. So that's totally fine. It should be I. Nice. So let's go back. And in here we just want to add a font size so the icon gets bigger. It's gonna be 30 pixels. Let's go. And as you guys can see, the icon here is actually bigger. So that's great. Nice. And now we want to style the H2 tag, which is essentially the Spotify title. So we're gonna be logo container dot logo H2, and in here we want to have a font size of 20 pixels, not 120. We want to have 20. Nice. We also want to have a font weight, and it's gonna be bold, so it's gonna be a bit thicker. Never mind, it's gonna be a bit lighter actually, because it was already too thick from the beginning. Nice. And we want to also add some space between the logo and the text as well. So we're gonna have a margin of left, which is gonna be 20 pixels as well. So as you guys can see, I think, oops, it's gonna be left. As you guys can see, the Spotify text here is actually have some space between the logo and the buttons or the dots as well. So that's great. Now we want to style the search container. I think I spelled that right. Yeah, I did. It's search box actually. So it's search box, not box. It's box. Jesus, dude. Nope. Thank you. Nice. So in here we want to have a width of 100%, so it's going to be 100% of the div it's in. We also want to have a height of 45 pixels. And as you guys can see, it's probably search box is up here. Nice. So it's this one. And we also want to have a position of relative, because we're gonna style the divs inside of it to be a position absolute probably. So we're gonna have a margin top as well, so we're gonna add some space between the header and the search bar. We're gonna have a margin top of 20 pixels, and when I press Ctrl S here, you will probably see that it's gonna pop down a bit. Yeah, nice, great. Now we want to have a color, so we want to set the color of the text, and it's not gonna be this value. It's gonna be 84, 84, 84, 84, 84, 84. Nice. It's gonna be great. Oh, it's the color of the search icon actually. Nice. and we also want to have overflow hidden, so no scroll bar is popping up when we don't want it to. And we also want to have a border radius, so this will essentially make the corners more round. Radius, and it's gonna be 10 pixels. Nice. And let's go to the input. So now it's gonna be this input here, where it's display search. So we simply just type dot search box input, just like that. And in here we want to have a width of 100%. So if I hit Control S here, we will probably see the width is going to increase, and it did. Nice. And the height of 100% as well. So the height will probably increase right now. Yep, nice. And we don't want to have a border because it's gonna look weird. So the outline here is probably gonna disappear right now. Yeah, nice. And we don't also want no outline as well. So it's gonna be just a rounded square with no outline whatsoever. Yep, nice. Great. Now we want to set the background color for this input here, and it's background color, just like that, and we want to have RGBA as well, and this is gonna be black, so it's gonna be 0, 0, 0, 3 zeros, and we also want this to be 0.5, just like that. Now it's a little bit darker, it's not exactly black, but that's fine. I think that's because the opacity is 0.5. If we change this to 1, it's gonna be completely black. Yeah, that's correct. But it's gonna be dark gray, for example. Now we're gonna add a box shadow to this, so it stands out a little bit more. So we're gonna first have a semicolon here, and this is probably gonna use an arrow. Yep. Box shadow, just like that, and it's gonna be RGBA as well. Nope, never mind, it's not. It's gonna be 0 pixels, 0 pixels, 0 pixels, 20 pixels actually, and we want to have an RGBA as well. So this will set the position of the shadow, and this will set the color of the shadow. So it's gonna be 0, 0, 0, 0.0.54, just like that. And now we'll have a little bit of a shadow. You probably won't be able to see it, but I can. Nice. Now I want to have a padding left, so we're gonna add some space inside the input. Padding left, it's probably gonna be 45 pixels. Yeah, 45 pixels, just like that. Boom. As you guys can see, the search actually moved to the right because we had a space to the left here. Nice. Okay, so what we want to do now is we want to add the color, which is gonna be the color of the the placeholder, and it's probably gonna be white. So it's gonna be F1, F1, F1. Yeah, nice. And the search bar is actually white, not black. Great. We also want to add some font weight to this placeholder. Weight, just like that, and this is gonna be bold, and we also want to add some font size, so the font size is gonna be 14 pixels. And if we hit Ctrl S here, we will probably see that the placeholder will change. Yeah. Great. Okay. Now let's go to the actual input placeholder. So we're gonna do search box input, 2 semicolons, and do type placeholder, just like that. And this is how you edit the style of the placeholder. And the color is gonna be 84, 84, 84. Which is gonna be some gray. So it's not gonna be white, essentially. That's fine, because if we type in something in here, we have a white text. And that's what the color that we defined before did. Nice. Now I want to change the icon as well, and I'm just gonna see if we have an icon here in the search box. We do. Very nice. So what we want to do is to type search box like this, and just an I. and the position is going to be absolute, and that's why we typed position relative before. Now we want to set the placement, which is going to be top 0. We want to have a left 0, so it's going to be in the left top corner, essentially. Just like that, and as you guys can see, we have a small little icon here in the top left. That's exactly what we want. Now we're going to set the width and the height. So the width is going to be 45 pixels. The height is going to be 45 pixels as well, because it's going to be round. That's great. Just like that. And yeah, we also want to have text align center. So it's going to be in the center. Yep, nice. Center. And we also want to have the line height to 45 pixels. Just like that. So it essentially is placing itself in the middle. That's great. And we also want to have a font size here, which is gonna set the size of the icon to 20 pixels. Boom. Now we have a little icon here in the search input. Great. Okay, so we're gonna style the menu container. So it's menu container, just like this. And we're gonna have some margin in here as well. So it's gonna be 50 pixels and then 0. So what this means essentially is it's gonna put a margin of 50 pixels in the y-axis and a 0 in the x-axis, essentially. So it's gonna position everything nice and clean. That's very good. And now we want to style the p tag in the menu container. So we just type menu container p, and the color is gonna be 4. Yes, I think it is 88. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's gonna be 88. Again, yeah, just like that. And now you guys can see that if we remove this, save this, you will see the menu text up here is black, but when we type in this, you will essentially see it's going to be disappearing because it's the same color as the background. Bloop. Now it's gone, almost gone. You guys can see it though, I think. Yeah. Nice. We also want to change the font size to 12 pixels. We want to have a margin bottom, so we're going to add a space to the bottom outside of the div. It's going to be 10 pixels, so the playlist here is going to move a little bit down actually in the y-axis, I think. No, it's actually going to push up the menu. Never mind. Okay, and we also want to have uppercase, so we're going to text dash transform. It's going to be uppercase. Nice. I also might want to add the background to the whole application, because this will essentially change the menu, left menu background as well, because it's somewhat transparent. So I might do that. And how we do that is actually rather simple. If we go into app.css here, we will essentially see that we want to have it's no, it's actually never mind. I might do that later actually. Yeah, I will do that later. So forget what I said. Let's carry on with the styling of the left menu. Yeah, so let's carry on with the styling of the left menu. So we want to style the UL tag, which is going to be the list we have. So we're going to style the whole list here with all the different divs as well. So we're going to type .menu container UL, and this is going to have a width of 100%. So if I press Ctrl S right now, the list will probably get wider. Yeah. Nice. And we also want to have a padding of 0 pixels. So we don't want to have any paddings in it. That's fine. Boom. That's great. And now we want to style each items in the list. So we just have menu container ULLI. So list style. We don't want to have any style of this list, so we got that none. We also want to have a margin of 5 pixels, which is gonna add some space between them. Boom. I wonder if I typed menu container right though. Let's go and check that out. If we go here and check after the menu container, it's probably gonna be in menu list, right? Menu container. Yeah, so that's just a list, that's fine. We go to menu, that's a list. Yeah, this is. I think I tapped something wrong actually about menu container here. Left menu, because these relates correctly. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Interesting. Maybe it's tracklist I have to go into. Oh, that's just tracklist. I'm just checking out the different name of the divs at the moment, so. Playlist container, name container, yep, that's fine. Menu. Here's menu container. I'm gonna just copy this and essentially, I think, oh, it's actually right. Okay, so it's menu is displaying in here, which is looping over all the different. Okay, so it's actually fine. I've done everything right. Okay, never mind then. Everything is correctly. Okay, nice. Nice. Okay, so let's carry on with this. I just have to check if I did something wrong, but I didn't, so that's fine. It's gonna padding of. Okay, let's see it. ULE. Yep. We also want to have a width of 100%. And yep. We also want to have a padding of 5 pixels, 0 pixels as well. And I get some notifications and position relative as well here. Nice. Now we're gonna change the A tag in this. So we can essentially just copy this whole text here and type A here. And the text decoration is gonna be none, I think. Yep. So none. Color. Hashtag 84, 84, 84. I just have to check this because I have a feeling that this is not the correct way. It's fine. This should actually be like this. Okay, never mind. Nothing is wrong here. Everything is great. So align center, and we also want to have a font size of 16 pixels. So if we do that, nothing changed, but that's fine. All right. So now we want to have dot menu container UL and LI, and we're gonna add some animations here. 4, and the position is gonna be absolute. We also want to add a content, which is gonna be an empty string, and the top is gonna be 0. The left is gonna be minus 25 pixels. 15 actually. 15 pixels. Yep, and width is gonna be 0 pixels, and height is gonna be 100%, which I tapped definitely wrong. 100%. Nice. We're also gonna add a background here. Background is gonna be a hexadecimal color of 49E12E. So it's gonna be green. And the border radius is gonna be 5 pixels. Nice. I'm still quite whatever. We're almost done with menu container. So it's gonna be menu container ULLI, and then we're gonna have a hover effect on it. It's gonna be just 1 semicolon and 2 before. And we also want not to have brackets directly. We want to add another menu container here. ULLI dot active. So if it's active, we want to have an a tag here, and the color is gonna be hashtag F1 just like that. And we also want to have a transition of 0.3 seconds. Nice. This is actually gonna be just an A here, just like that. Now we want to go to dot menu container. So this is essentially just an animation we're creating, and if you are interested in learning how to animate in this type of way, there are multiple ways to do it. You can simply just search it on the internet. It's quite complex, but I'm not gonna try to explain it here. Just follow along if you want to, and if you're generally interested, you have to do some more research it, but that's fine. 50 pixels, and we're gonna have a transition here of width 0.5 seconds. Nice. Okay, so let's go to playlist container. Playlist container with a capital Z as well. Playlist container, and this is gonna have a margin of 15 pixels and 0 pixels to the left and right. Boom. Nice. Yeah, just type margin 15 pixels, 0 pixels, and the cursor is gonna be pointer. So as you guys can see, my cursor is currently on a pointer right now. So if we remove this, let's have that, the cursor is not a pointer anymore if we go in here. But if we add this code here, cursor to pointer, and go in here, the cursor is a pointer. So everything is working fine. That's exactly what we want. It's great. Now we want to style the name container. Name container, just like that. And it's gonna have a display of flex. It's also gonna have a justify content. Justify content to space between. And we also want to have align item center. So the plus icon here just moved. Great. Nice. We also want to have a different color on it. And the color is gonna be hashtag 848484. So it's gonna be gray. And the margin bottom is gonna be margin bottom. Be 10 pixels, just like that. I will also change one thingy I just realized. So if we go to app.css, we want to change this background color to black, just like that. And if we do that, it's gonna be black, and you guys can see everything. I think this looks just better, I guess. Yeah, it looks a lot better. Nice. Okay, so we're gonna change that to black. I might change this to maybe a little bit lighter black, just to have. That's too light. Just like that, maybe. Yeah, that's fine. Nice. So let's carry on with the styling here. So we want to go to name container and change the p tag. So playlist container dot name container p, and the font size is gonna be whoops. The font size is gonna be 12 pixels. So as you guys can see, the playlist text just changed, and we also want the text transform to be uppercase. So the whole text will essentially be uppercase. Transform to uppercase. Nice. And after that, we want to change the icon. And this is going to be a cursor pointer because we want to have a pointer when we hover it. And the color is going to be the same gray color as we always use, which is 84, 84, 84. Just like that. Nice. Oh, it's gonna be F1, F1, F1 actually. F1, F1, no, Jesus dude. F1, F1, F1. It's gonna be white. Nice. Now we want to have a change the. I think I'm just gonna style the playlist container, and then we will end the tutorial because it's quite long actually. So it's playlist scroll. I'm just gonna check if I actually typed it right. I think I did, but we're gonna try to. It's here. Let's copy this one and see if. Yeah, that's right. Nice. Okay, so the height is gonna be 140 pixels. We also want to have an overflow of X hidden, so we don't have a scroll bar at the X-axis. But at Y-axis is, I think it's fine. Yeah, nice. That's actually great. Very nice. And the overflow on the Y-axis is gonna be a scroll. Just like that. And we want to have a position relative here as well. Nice. And now we want to we want to style the playlist container dot playlist scroll dot playlists. So we're gonna style all the different lists in the loop. And in here we want to have a display flex. We also want to have a line center, line at the center. We also want to have a color of 84, 84, 84. Color 84, 84, 84. Okay, dude. Okay, 84, 84, 84. And the margin as well, which is going to be 10 pixels and 0. Nice. So, as you guys can see, we have a scroll bar and it all have been styled. That's just great. So, it's currently almost looking like a Spotify left side navigation thingy. Anyways, so now we want to have a hover effect when we hover over the different playlists. So we're gonna copy this whole row here, type hover just like that, and the color is gonna be white when we hover it. So we're gonna have F1, F1. Can't really type hashtag today. F1, 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 and we also want to have a transition as well. So we're gonna have a transition of all 0.3 seconds. So if we hover it now, you guys will see that it changes color in a smooth way. Nice. Now I want to change the list inside the playlist, so you can just copy this or paste it as well and type dot list, not semicolon lists. And in here we want to just add a font size just a simple font size, which is gonna be 18 pixels. Nice. Now we're gonna style the p tag. So what we can simply do is just paste this as well and type that. And the p tag is gonna have a font size of 16 pixels. We're gonna have a margin left of 15 pixels. And if we save that, it will actually get some space between the bar and the text as well. Nice. And we also want to have a text overflow here. Overflow, and this is gonna be ellipsis, just like that. And we also want to have overflow hidden, so we don't get any scroll bars in the text. And the display is gonna be inline. Nice. Now we're gonna style the trash, so we can just do that. Dot trash, and this is how it's gonna have a font size of 18 pixels. This is gonna have a margin left as well, so we get some space between the text and the trash can, which is good auto. So it's gonna probably just be yeah, it's gonna space as much as possible, and that's fine. And yeah, I think that's it actually. We are just on the playlist, so the next episode is gonna be about styling the track lists and all this junk here. And so it fits well and looks nice. And when we do that as well, this list is probably gonna be longer because this image is already too big. We can actually change that because so you guys can see that. I'll just change that with like this. Just type dot tracklist dot top with the image, and the width is gonna be just 50 pixels, and we want to have a type it like that, so it's gonna change. Nice. Now I'm not gonna carry on with all this styling, but that should be it. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this CSS tutorial, you guys can call it, then yeah, I hope you got some value out of this and learned something as well. And if you want to carry on with this project, I'm gonna post even more episodes about it as well, so you guys can learn how to essentially style and develop your own clones. Not only Spotify, but Twitter and YouTube as well. I have plans for all the different clones. So if you really enjoy these videos, then great. That's just all. I am not gonna ask you to hit the like button or whatever. You guys can do whatever you want. But that's alright, and that's all for me, and I hope you have a great day.